Now, the last time we saw the three dads on breakfast, they were marching through Westminster, completing an epic 600-mile hike around the UK's 4 national parliaments.
Mike, Andy and Tim walking, of course, in memory of their daughters who all took their own lives, and to campaign for suicide awareness to be taught in schools. And tonight, viewers of the Pride of Britain Awards on ITV can watch them receive their award from 3 sporting legends, Chris Robshaw, David Hay and Chris Kamara. Have a look.
As a new parent, I can't possibly understand the pain you've been through, but your ability to turn that pain into action is truly heroic.
I was unaware that suicide was the biggest killer of people under 35. Didn't know that till tonight. Just that, you know, can spark a conversation, and the fact what you're doing in Parliament, I'm way behind it. And I definitely think this is something that should be implemented in schools, just the knowledge of what this actually means, if those kids are being affected by it.
I met these 3 guys tonight early on. Aren't they fantastic? Woo! Absolutely brilliant. They weren't meant to find each other, but they have, and they've made the most of it. Well done, all of you. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Please give it up for Chris and David and the all-inspiring winners. Andy, Mike and Tim, the 3 dads walking.
Well, I'm very pleased to say all 3 are here now. Morning.
Morning.
And I'm also pleased to say, we'll get on to the serious stuff in just a moment, normal service has been resumed.
The knees are out.
I barely recognised you up on that stage in your suits, looking all done up. Was there a debate about whether you should go up in the shorts or not?
We were told. Wives told us. Yeah.
Okay,
Wives, yeah, it was the
Decorum
wife,
said,
yeah, it was wife decision.
Go up in your suits.
Yeah.
We've got the awards here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And people can see the awards itself tonight. What was it like for you?
Surreal. Really odd. I mean, it's odd sitting here meeting you lot, even though we've done it several times. But to turn up at the Dorchester and walk down the red carpet, which took like 3/4 of an hour, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Just really odd. Really odd. You know, the fact that we didn't choose to take that route, but we've ended up with these things as a recognition of what we've been doing is just such a, well, it'd be a great honour, but what a surprise. It is a massive surprise.
I know your daughters will have been in your hearts every moment of that event, and I think Mike, you in particular said Beth would have loved it.
Yeah, but Beth was born to be on stage anyway, and she would have loved all the glitz and glamour there. But it was a great honour. You know, it's a great platform, but it's very bittersweet for us as well. You know, it's just part of our journey. I think we've still got so much more work to do, but to be recognised in this way, yeah, it's fantastic.
But you must have had a sense, Tim, of the enormous impact you've had and how you have really spoken to people in a way and connected not just people who've been affected by suicide, but bereaved parents, actually.
It's just incredible how many people have come out to us and meet us, total strangers, and some of them have been really, really kind of so sad but so inspiring. A dad of an 11-year-old who came out all the way from Cheltenham into Wales, who'd lost his son, you know, a year before, and he just wanted to talk to us. And he wasn't the only one. Lots of parents of, you know, young people have taken their own lives. And just realising we've got this massive problem across society that we, as a bunch of adults, need to address. The kids are looking at stuff on their phones, they're looking stuff up. We need to own that and be more responsible.
It's interesting, we heard David Hay there, didn't we, on stage saying, I've learned, you know, yeah. I've met these guys and made me think I didn't even know the figures. Are you hearing that more and more?
Yep. Well, it's one of those things that until you get thrown into the world of suicide prevention, which just happened, with the 3 of us, happened out of the blue, until you get dumped in this shattered world, you don't appreciate what's going on out there. And the fact that suicide's the biggest killer of under 35s in the UK, and we as a society are doing bugger all about it. We've got to do something. We've got to talk about it. We as adults need to talk about it. You know, the fact that we've got this petition going pointed at the government is it's kind of an easy target. But it's not just aimed at the government, it's aimed at everybody. Everybody should be talking about this, because if our young people are dying, You know, up to 200 school children a year are taking their own lives. We need to talk about it, because if we don't tell them, as we were saying there, they'll find out about it through their mobile devices. And is that what we want to do? We'd let them find out about suicide through the internet rather than a safe and controlled discussion.
Specifically, you want it to be included as part of the PHSC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of the curriculum, which in England anyway, and obviously each of the devolved governments will have their own systems for this. But what is it that you, because Charlie and I were talking about this beforehand, saying it's very, very sensitive, the whole idea of talking about suicide to potentially vulnerable teenagers. You don't know who you're talking to in a room. Are you introducing ideas that might not otherwise be there when you talk about it? How do you manage all of that?
So the thing that I find incredibly sad, is that Papyrus, the charity we work for, get called into schools after there's been a suicide. So they're totally reactive. And all we're saying is, let's put age-appropriate, and there is age-appropriate material out there, let's put it in proactively. Let's talk to our kids, because if we don't talk about it, as Andy's already said, the kids will look for it on their mobile phones, and that's the last thing you want them to do. And when you hear of children, 8 is the youngest we've heard of, and lots of children, you know, in their 11, 12, 13 parents we met, and all of them have said if the kids have got that help-seeking behaviour, we need to encourage the kids to seek help. And that's what we're asking. And also for the the teachers as well. If a child comes to them, to know how to signpost.
They need additional help. And
they need help.
We have had various responses to the petition. Should we go through these? First of all, this is what the government said, that schools can teach older pupils about suicide, and the Relationship, Sex and Health Education Guidance advises schools to approach the topic carefully, being aware of the risks.
Went on to say the government is committed to reviewing the advice next year, with new guidance expected to be published in 2024.
And then in response to that, you, I know, have written back to the Education Secretary, we have a new Education Secretary now, asking how that would help younger children who are having suicidal thoughts.
I mean, we're just seeing that the whole of that exchange there, and this is you saying that they're failing to equip young people with the tools they need. I mean, I heard your sort of, I don't know what it was. It's sort of a guffaw. You're frustrated, aren't you?
Well, I know the exact word I want to say. It begins with B and ends in bollocks. So I'll let you work that one out, because what we're talking about is getting it as a compulsory part of the curriculum. Yeah. Because if this is what's killing young people, we need to talk to them about it. And you'll see on the response that the government said to us, schools can talk about it. It is not compulsory. So a lot of schools have done it. A lot of schools are doing it.
So when you hear that in that statement, they're talking about the review, which is due to take place. Do you understand at all the notion that they can't, governments and the education system can't react as immediately as you would want? I mean, that presumably you do understand. But do you think it's being delayed too long? There has to be a procedure of some sort.
A statement in their reply says we are doing everything we can, basically, to prevent suicide. They're not. Full stop. They're not. You know, I'd ask every parent as well, and anyone who sort of works with young people or anyone, to really ask this question themselves, and then take this to the government through our petition. You know, sort of, are the young people, you know, really equipped to deal with their mental health issues? You know, they've got a lot coming in from all angles now. Do they have help-seeking behaviour? Do they really? What happens when they really need to reach out when they're struggling? Can they look after themselves? Because if the answer is no, you need to sign that petition. And I don't believe the government is doing enough.
Do you know, whenever you appear on your programme, I'm delighted you're here now. Often, anecdotally, people ask me afterwards, how are you? It's one of those things that always crops up. People want to know, you know, they seem great, amazing what they're doing, and then they say, do you think you're okay? Do you think you're all right? Do you mind me asking? Because I think we maybe don't think about it often enough.
No, it's a good question. And I know you asked us this last time we were on, how are you? And when you mean it, it's a really important question to ask. We're okay. We're okay. We have our moments, without any shadow of doubt, like any suicide bereaved parent, like anybody suffering from bereavement, full stop. You have your moments, but we're all right. And certainly having the three of us, it's a very powerful support we've got.
Yeah, I would just like to say we are okay, but our families struggle through this. You lose, you know, a daughter through suicide, but also Bethy and Sophie and Emily, they were sisters, you know, they were nieces. They meant so much to so many people. The pain just doesn't go away. It's spread across those other people as well. So, you know, really, are we okay? We're striding on, we're walking, but, you know, life isn't all rosy, it is hard.
But knowing that we're doing some good and trying to stop other people going through what we're going through, that's what it's all about. We can't let all these young people die every year. It's so needless, they're so talented, they make such rash decisions. And the sad fact, Andy spoke about, you know, 200 school children around, all the young people, the parents that we have met, I don't know one that was put down to suicide. I know most of them were put down to misadventure. So there's a whole load of people there that die by their own hand, and they don't go into statistics.
This is all very, very important, what you're saying, as you well know. Did anyone do anything really embarrassing at the awards? Was there a moment when you met someone, you made some faux pas or anything? Okay.
Now there's a thing.
What goes on in the awards stays in the awards.
You can't tell us.
Off air, maybe.
Yeah, maybe thinking someone was someone else, and but they were absolutely lovely about it as well.
They all look the same,
come
though,
on,
to
give
them,
us
so
a
what do you worry about?
clue. Give us a clue. Give us a clue.
Oh, it was strictly orientated, let's say that.
Yeah, it was strictly.
It was
oriented,
strictly, very
yes,
strictly.
yeah, absolutely,
We got the wrong
yes,
people.
yeah. But everyone was
He did,
fantastic
he did.
there. They were, you know, all the celebs and everything. You know, they've got a massive reach as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, suicide, mental health issues, they don't discriminate.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There aren't many people, by the way, who can get away with the kind of language you use on the interview. I love it. But you can. The Daily Mirror Pride of Britain Award is on ITV tonight at 8 o'clock.
Also, as we always say, if you've been affected by the issues raised in this discussion, you can find help and support at bbc.co.uk/actionline.
We're on BBC One until 9:15 this morning, when it's time for Morning Live with Oti and Gethin, and they can tell us what they got in store. Morning, both.
Well, actually, good morning. I was just asking Oti who the lads got confused by at the Pride of Britain Awards. You were there. It wasn't you, was it?
No, I'm assuming it's me. I get it all
maybe.
the time. Me and Mutsi get confused for each other.
Oh, we'll get to the bottom of it another time.